Hello, I thought I would talk you through some of the things I carry with me in my backpack when I'm doing these multi-day runs. We're going to start at the front and work to the back. So in the front pocket I have, here is a small towel which I use to clean my iPhone, because when it's very wet it's hard to use the touch screen. Insect repellent, glucose gels for emergency fuel. I think that's in that compartment. Pen, obviously. This is a power pack for when my phone runs out of power, which it generally does by sort of towards the end of the day. Electrolyte tablets. I don't use these very often, but if you get really severe muscular aches and pains and you just have to continue, anti-inflammatory and paracetamol help. And just a random plastic bag in case I need to keep anything else dry. You just never know. Sorry, it's a bit loud here. Also nutrition, I have some mixed nuts and seeds, nuts and fruit, dried fruit, and of course Kendall's mint cake, as taken by many legendary mountaineers for over 100 years. Great British invention. There's nothing else in there, I think that's it. There's a little section here which I don't usually carry anything in because it's open to the elements, but I've had things in there like, at one point we tried to rescue a sunflower. I've tried to bring a sunflower home to put in a pot just to have as a little mascot, which we called Bob. He survived for all of a week, but I carried him as I was running in the back of it in this section here. It was worth a try. Right, the large compartment, which is probably a little bit more waterproof, has a waterproof jacket in it, which folds up to a very small area. And this is vital. This is a thermal bag. It's basically a large piece of silver foil that you wrap around yourself, and it retains heat really well. So if you do find yourself stuck up the mountains and you have to stay overnight, this could mean the difference between life and death. So that, and if it's at all cold or I'm going anywhere near mountains, that comes with me. So another Ziploc waterproof bag. It's just some toilet paper for case I get caught short in the wilderness. There's some emergency numbers, contact numbers there, and a selection of batteries for my action camera and the gimbal that it's supported on. Now these are wearing this homemade sling which goes around my neck and one shoulder, and then it ties around my waist. And inside this there is the action camera on the gimbal. So it's a fantastic device and works really well, and you can make smooth running shots, you know, over almost any terrain. Fantastic bit of kit now, quite lightweight. Okay, so what else is in here? Sunscreen. That's sunblock, that's like factor 50, because I'm out for 5 hours a day in all sorts of different conditions and the sun's often really bright. Head torch, that's another vital piece of kit. Compass, useful for when you're using paper maps for orientation. These are the keys for Roxy in case I get there before Radna. I can let myself in and get out of the rain, etc. Sunglasses, they got used a lot more than I expected to. And a whistle, which I've never used, but you just never know if you're out in the fog somewhere and sort of, I don't know, hurt your ankle, and you know that your support or your partner's looking for you. You could have a whistle signal that you could communicate with. So that's everything in there. There's a little compartment here at the top. This is where I keep the most vital piece of kit. This is Garmin SE Explorer, InReach Explorer, which is a satellite communicator. It doesn't use 3G or 4G, it uses a satellite signal on the Iridium network, and so as long as you can wait long enough to get a direct line of sight to the satellites, and there's dozens of them, you can send text messages to people's phones telling them you're okay. Also, it's got maps, and the maps are really good and up to date on there. And you can download different sets of maps for different territories. So I would heartily recommend that. It's not that expensive. It's a lot cheaper than satellite phones by about a third. You can't make calls on it. You can just send text. Anyway, so in here, in case I need music, which I've used a few times on this run, but not that many. Usually when I'm running along really boring stretches of road with trucks rumbling past, I put this on, as long as I'm safe to do so, just to sort of keep the energy levels up. Finally, kind of obviously, just have some money, some change to buy a drink or something to keep me going. And then in the last compartment, all that really goes in there is water and various cleaning tools for cleaning the water reservoir, which you should do fairly regularly, at least I would say once every couple of months. Maybe more than that, once a month. And the water goes in there, and that holds up to 2 litres, and it doesn't leak unless I don't seal it properly. And then that's obviously, that comes through a tube which is attached to the strap, and then I can pick it up and drink as I go. So that's the kit, and it's relatively lightweight. I've tried to strip it down as much as possible, but I can run comfortably with that for about 4, 5, 6 hours a day. And there you have it.